Hey Maddox, this is Daria from meshbodyaddicts.com, and today I'm back with another mesh head review, this one being for Lelutka's latest Bento mesh head, Cate. We seem to have a theme going with the C's with Lelutka and the L's with Cate. Maybe it's a sneaky homage, what do you think? Okay, so let's take a quick look at Cate. Now, Cate is at the Skin Fair at the moment. Depending on when you watch this, if March is over, then you'll find it in Lelutka's store. If you're watching this when I've actually published it, then it will be at Skin Fair, so you can grab her there. Now, the Cate Bento mesh head is running a similar system to their previous heads, and by that I mean the Hud system is virtually identical. Which makes it easier for those that have used Lelutka before to know how it all works. But what I'm going to do is just go through the HUD briefly with you for those who may be new to Lelutka or mesh heads in general, just to give you a little bit of an overview. So in terms of the Lelutka HUD, as I've said in the past tutorial videos, you have included skins here from Glamour Fair. I'm wearing the America tone at the moment. You have a bar here that controls the shine on your face when you have advanced lighting on. You have eyeshadow included in various types that you can make darker or lighter. As you can see, if I bring this right up, my eyes go really dark because I'm using this right now. Lipstick as well. Brows. So the brow option actually adds their own brows. So if you're using a skin that has brows, you'll end up looking a bit weird if you put them on. So I won't do that. Lashes as well. You have a variety of different types of lashes here, as well as the ability to mask them if you wish. But as we all know, that never looks pretty, so I just never do it. Tattoos. Again, we have tattoos on the face area now, and there are a few examples here. Hair bases as well. So that's really the long and short of how the HUD works. Up here we have the ability to hide the ears or to hide the scalp if you have hair that's poking through at the top area here. And we also have a whole variety of animations. Now, one thing I want to point out is if you are a Lelutka user already, and you're familiar with their Bento setup, you'll notice here that I've got a hell of a lot more animations than I used to have in my HUD. And the reason for that is that Lelutka has started releasing add-on packs with extra animations, and part of that is at Skin Fair. So while you're at Skin Fair looking at the Lelutka stand, you'll see there are some little boxes as well that have different sets of expressions that you can buy, and there's a freebie set as well, and you can use these sets just by adding them as a HUD and playing with them like this, or you can inject them, and an injector is pretty much an installer. So mine will probably have a cry because it's already installed, but you wear the installer and bam, in it goes. I wonder if I just uninstalled it. Maybe I should do it again just in case. Let's see. Does it tell me anything? I've got way too many things open. Oh no, just completed. And telling me my memory. Very good. So that has added a lot of photo options, especially. That's what this set is really focusing on. And I really love some of the subtle looks in these. So if you use whatever Lelutka Bento mesh head, definitely check those out. Now, you can control your eyes. I've got icon eyes on at the moment, but you can make them look up or look down or look to the side or whatever eyes you're using if they're mesh. You'll be able to control them here, which is really handy. They have options for a slightly parted mouth, blinking, and of course options where you can save your own textures, etc. And this head especially has the all-important rerouting. Now, I spoke a little bit about rerouting in the last review because it's only come out for the latest two heads. Rerouting essentially enables you to apply an Omega applier to the head, but select where it goes. That way, if you're, for example, using a blush layer for blush, but a designer has made a freckles add-on that uses that same layer, you can reroute it manually to, say, the face tattoo layer by enabling that before you press to apply it, which is a really handy feature. I really hope they roll that back to Simone head as well. So Lelutka, if you're listening, please give Simone this one as well. It is such a handy feature to have. They also have a whole bunch of repairs, and other things that you might want to play around with and change. And of course, you can check for updates and redeliver. Okay. Now, if you're one of those people that hates getting the redelivery every time you put the head on because for some reason you don't want to update or haven't got around to it yet, you can actually turn that feature off up here. But I really recommend, unless you're on top of every update that comes out, I really recommend leaving it on because, like me, you just may not otherwise know. Alright, so that's a quick rundown of the Lelutka HUD. So let's have a look at the head itself. Now, the Cate head she reminds me a little bit of Chloe. I think mostly within the eye area. I've got my own shape on, in that I wore the Lelutka base shape and then I started adjusting and tweaking, which is pretty much what I always do, because I'm fussy that way. But, she has really, the eye region I find really defined in Cate. So let's take a quick look. Oh, Mr. Flappy, you're in the way. Move you cute little bird butt. Okay, so if we have a look here, and I squeeze this into my screen, move over. Get over there. All right. As always, I'm facing the wrong way in these these things because I'm using a post stand to make myself stop wobbling around. Now we have a bit more of a rounded jaw on Cate, which I really like because I'm a fan of the more rounded jaw. I don't know if it's a more young look or if it's just, I think I like a bit of face chub. I just like a little bit of, oh my God, what is happening there? Oh my God, I just realized it's because I've got the scalp, because I turned my scalp off maybe. That is so hilarious. Let's have a look just for shits and giggles. Is it my scalp? So let's see if I put scalp on. Or maybe it just doesn't update in there. That is freaking hilarious. Oh, SL, you make us all so sexy. That's exactly the facial expression that I would be doing as well, Dara. Okay, so head size. I had to go a little bit bigger in head size with this one, I noticed, than most. That's not really an issue for me though, because it didn't throw hairs off too much. I am at the moment using an unrigged version of Truth's hair, because I did find, like with some Lelutka heads, it's just that little bit too small for rigged sized hair. And I think that especially is the case with this one because the head is so easily influenced by sliders. So if we have a look at the head, if I sorry, sometimes I can't help but stop and look at myself and marvel at my beauty. If you take a look at the sliders here, it's really going to some quite big extremes. But even with it being around the center, which is where I'm keeping it, it still is a little bit off of where I think the system head would be at this size, which would be around about the same chin, but up a little bit more. Whoops. Clicking away. And because of that, rigged hair thinks that the head is bigger than it really is. And I think that that's really the only problem that I've picked up as far as maybe something to improve on in future. But again, it's really not that noticeable or that big an issue that it stops me. And every hair is rigged differently, so you really can't hold the fact that hair is being a pain against the head itself. Okay, so brow sizes, again, we all know this usually. This actually just pulls it out that way. So even though, as I always say, even though you may not see a difference happening when you're looking face on at your character, always make sure you check to the side because you might play with a slider and go, oh, that one does nothing. and then look to the side, and all of a sudden you have a nose the size of your whole skybox. So just be careful with that one. Now, upper cheeks, I quite like the movement in the upper cheeks in this head, because I can get quite a defined motion. Mr. Flappy, what did I say? I said, get out of my way. I can get quite a defined look there if I want it, which is good, without getting this sunken lower look that I'm getting with a lot of other heads that I've been trying that with. And lower cheeks as well lower cheeks has far less of an influence, but at max slider it doesn't produce as much of a protruding weird look as it does with some other heads, so that's fantastic as well. I love the shape of the nose with Lelutka. I really love their noses, and I love their eyes as well. This head, the one thing I struggle with a little bit is the lips, and if you've listened to a lot of my reviews, you know I always go on about the lips. And maybe it's just because I'm really weird about lip shapes, or maybe I just think every lip should look like my lip, who knows. But it seems quite oval to me. I don't know, something is off a little bit. And that's probably more to do with my shape than to do with anything else. But as those of you that have tried Bento before know, you really do have to play with these for quite a bit to get it to look the way that you want it to look. The thing that I love most, though, about it, even mouth included, is that she doesn't look perpetually grumpy. She doesn't look like she wants to stab someone with a rusty spoon everywhere she goes, and that is something that I struggle with some heads, especially past Lelutka heads. So thank you, lady, for not being so goddamn grumpy. The resting bitch face level is far lower on you, and I do appreciate that more than words can express. So that's a little bit of a rundown about the Lelutka Cate mesh head. I know it's getting rave reviews from people, and a lot of faithful Lelutka users and even faithful Catwa users that I've spoken to have been raving about this head. So I definitely recommend checking it out if it's your style. And as I always say, play with the shape. Always play with the shape. With a Bento head, the shape that you use with one head won't work with another. And that could not be more true when it comes to Lelutka. Because if I, for example, let's just get rid of that. If I, for example, use any of my Catwa shapes, this is immediately what happens. And that is on a shape that isn't too farly derived from a standard shape. So you can see Lelutka's rigging is really different to other mesh heads. So don't just try it on with a shape that you may be using with your pre-existing catcher, etc. Actually take the time to play around with it. Take the time to work out a shape that works for you. And don't judge a book by its cover, because it is a super cute head. Yay! Under 15 minutes. Oh my god, I'm actually learning to shut up a bit. Anyway, so just quickly for those wondering, my hair is from the Truth VIP group gift this month. If you're not part of Truth VIP group, do it. It's like 325 linden, and you get a free fat pack hair every month. It is amazing. Do it. You'll love me for it. The top and the pants are Blueberry's latest releases. The top is at Collab 88, and the pants are at her main store. The Grace pants and I think it's the Lolly top. Oh, so close, so close. And I'm wearing Maitreya with Slink Physique. No, actually Vista hands today. So that's it from me in my Rain Skybox. Isn't it gorge? And look, I will talk to you guys in the next review. Hopefully you found it useful. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.